Welcome. Thank you for coming to my presentation of the Osprey Hermes Fastpack, my capstone project for 2026. Today I'll be sharing how I came to define the problem at hand. Next, I'll be giving a bit of my research. I'll be giving you a glimpse into my ideation and prototyping, and how, like design, this process is not linear. And finally, the production of my final prototype, and how all these things came together to create a strong and cohesive final concept. Something you should know about me, that's my personal connection to this project, is that I love the outdoors, and I love doing hard, difficult things outside. From climbing my first 16er in the Andes Mountains to hiking Cloud Peak in southern Wyoming with my dad, or even sending my first 511 in northern Ohio. I've also had a passion for running, from running my first 5K in around 6 minutes to doing a 5K trail run with my dad. But I want to introduce you to someone who also loves doing hard, difficult things. Meet Dylan. He's a 38-year-old ultramarathon runner who has recently discovered a love for the up-and-coming sport of fastpacking. Fastpacking is the intersection of trail running and camping, with athletes carrying food, water, shelter, and other essentials on their back. Some of the facts about it. It's defined as covering roughly 40 miles per day, with these athletes usually walking the hills and jogging the straights. And the duration of a fastpacking trip is usually 2 to 3 days. Some of Dylan's personal goals in this sport are personal performance, speed through the terrain, overcoming obstacles or challenges on the trail. His trusted brands are Osprey, Arc'teryx, North Face, and Gregory. And some of his frustrations from his pain points are him feeling held back and inefficient on the trail and distracted by poor gear performance. He also experiences neck and back pain. And we'll take a closer look at some of these pain points and how they've caused these frustrations in just a moment. So let's take a quick look at Dylan's experience. He's out for a 2-day fastpacking trip, carrying his gear in an old Osprey bag. During his time on the high mountain trail, he comes across a technical section of ice and rock. With his current Osprey pack, Dylan must stop, take the bag off, remove the ice axe from the bag, and then put the pack back on. But because this bag is not designed for running and these dynamic movements, it bounces and chafes, leaving him distracted and open to making mistakes. He finally arrives at his predetermined campsite, frustrated, much later than he originally intended, and experiencing neck and back pain. I'd like to introduce you to another athlete, Ashley. She is a 22-year-old runner who has recently gotten into fastpacking as well. Her goals in this sport are the exploration of local state parks, relaxation and escape from stress with her friends, and she loves to push personal performance. Her trusted brands are Osprey, REI, and Cotopaxi. We'll take a brief look at some of her pain points in a minute. And some of her frustrations, she feels hindered by lack of capacity. Often dehydration and fatigue can occur due to poor water consumption. And then she's often frustrated by lack of visibility to gear at one access point. Quick look at her experience. She's in the backcountry for extended exploration of a local state park. And using her soft water flasks, she tries to stay hydrated, but soon begins to run out of water. This occurs because she really needs to consume anywhere from 100 to 150 milliliters of water every 20 minutes of hard exertion. And the poor ventilation and lack of water quickly cause her to experience extreme fatigue and dehydration. When she does finally come to rest, she doesn't even want to dig through her race vest to try and find anything to give herself more energy. So some of her pain points with her current race vest is that there's insufficient capacity at only 6 liters. There's no large central opening. This means that she's not able to take a quick look at everything inside the bag at one glance. And there's also minimal adjustability for her body type. Some of Dylan's pain points that have led to his frustrations are poor accessibility to essential items while on the trail, as well as excessive balancing of load. This is because the shoulder straps and waist belt are really meant for slower movements. And he also experiences poor weight distribution around the core. This pack tends to load his shoulders and the middle of his back. But what are packs on the market that meet these needs? The Salomon S-Lab Adventure 20 is a strong fast packing concept, as well as the Mammut Tryon 15. Ultimately, all four of these packs either lean toward the form-fitting side of things or feature side of things. Some of these packs are defined as fast approach, backcountry, alpine, trail running. But what do these terms mean? Trail running is described as a form of running focused on navigating uneven or difficult terrain while overcoming natural obstacles. Fast approach, though very similar, has some slight differences. It's a variant of hiking or mountain climbing, oriented around speed, weight reduction, and efficient movement through harsh terrain. Backcountry is described as running in remote or undeveloped wilderness areas far from where trails may or may not exist. This form requires self-sufficiency and preparation for unknown hazards. And finally, alpine is described as a high-intensity technical form which takes place in steep, exposed, and even dangerous environments, usually above 10,000 feet. But what does Osprey have to meet its athletes' needs? This led to my problem statement. Osprey lacks a light backpack to compete in the fast packing category. This means that loyal Osprey athletes like Dylan and Ashley must adapt to existing Osprey packs or turn to other brands in the space. There was a big opportunity here. With a strong fast packing concept, Osprey could enter this growing and dynamic industry, both providing a solution for their athletes and pushing the industry forward in this space. But if I'm going to be designing for Osprey, I need to understand what the brand stands for and why it is so trusted. So, who is Osprey and what do they stand for? Osprey was established or founded in 1974 by Mike Fottenhauer, who designed and built his first pack at age 16. Since then, every product designed at Osprey has passed through his hands before being produced and sent off for manufacturing. Osprey values innovation and stewardship and respect, community, materials, and chemistry. Osprey is a brand that is defined by high-quality products. Every product is relentlessly tested to provide athletes with premium quality, comfort, and durability throughout the life of a product. So having a strong understanding of Ashley and Dylan's unique needs, along with the foundation of Osprey as a brand, I created 9 design guidelines to guide my final design and ensure that each feature and design decision was grounded in actual user needs and not mission drift. Though this concept would need to adhere to all 9, I want to cover 4 of the more important ones. The first one being to eliminate bouncing or swaying of pack. The second one was to center the weight around the user's shoulders and pelvis. Third was quick and intuitive adjustability for maximized comfort. And fourth was quick release for ice axe and trekking poles. The position of the standard day pack, such as Dylan uses, sits on the shoulders and hips, as can be seen in the left. But some of that weight also sits against the lower back, causing neck and back stiffness. As can be seen in the image on the right, I wanted to bring that center of mass higher and position it on the curve of the shoulder. This would increase lower body mobility, improving running and scrambling mechanics, as well as providing a secure bounce-free fit. Here we can see where each of these packs would sit on Dylan's back. This Osprey concept would need to stick higher and closer to the base of the neck. But before I could begin ideating pack designs, I wanted to improve my understanding of backpack construction. I was able to deconstruct an existing day pack to understand how these pieces and patterns all fit together. The parts of a normal day pack include back panel, inner lining, side panels, shoulder straps, foam, mesh pockets, webbing. Needless to say, the construction of a pack is very intricate and very complex. But having a stronger understanding of this really helped me as I moved into roughing out the main form of the bag of cardboard just to explore the ideal position of the bag on the shoulder. This led to the discovery of load lifters, which allow the user to adjust the load onto the curve of the bag, as can be seen here. I explored many different concepts to reduce load bounce and movement, from inflatable air pockets to shoulder straps printed in 3D flexible lattice mesh. After printing this lattice mesh, I quickly realized that this concept was both too rigid and bulky for Dylan and Ashley's ideal pack. Ideation continued with a new focus on race vest integration into this pack design. This would provide both a reduced weight and profile and allow for different sizes and body types, unlike a rigid cushion structure. Having determined a race vest as the best concept to move forward with, I began ideation of the pack. My ideation included the exploration of load lifters, which I determined with my first cardboard model, and torso compression in the form of adjustable straps as well. For accessibility to essential items, I explored a large central zipper and open mesh pocket. And you can see a lot of these elements show up in my final design. To bring Ashley and Dylan's a strong concept, I created a foam buck and began ideating my final design out of canvas on this buck. This proved very challenging at first, requiring many attempts using canvas, paper, and even waterproof nylon. The main difficulty here was getting the fabric and seams to flow with the compound curves of the buck to accurately create the chosen design. Toward the end of this long process, I ended up using a combination of VR and Blender to create the final pattern. With the final pattern pieces done, I made a one-to-one model out of scrap materials. This allowed me to understand and ensure that all the seams were clean and there were proper surface transitions before beginning the final high-fidelity model. Hermes 25-liter Fast Pack is Osprey's entry into this dynamic, growing market, providing its loyal athletes with a form-fitting concept to empower their pursuit. With a form-fitting vest, this pack eliminates bounce or load movement. Vest straps allow for quick, intuitive adjustments for maximum comfort, while load lifters center the weight around user shoulders. The buckling system allows the user to detach ice axe while on the move. And integrated attachment systems keep the items secure and are also adaptable for different items such as an ice axe or trekking poles. An interior mesh sleeve and water hose opening allow for seamless integration of a water reservoir, allowing athletes to be able to choose between water flasks or a water reservoir. And the trim focus profile sits snugly between the shoulder blades, meaning that athletes can maintain the same range of motion in the shoulders and arms. And finally, a large central zipper opening allows quick sight and access to items at the top or bottom of the bag. The Osprey Hermes comes in Osprey's signature colorways of their Duro and Dyna Vest series. These colorways include, from left to right, Cascade Blue, Purple Dusk, Fire Red, Mystery White, and Black, with Fire Red being the main color for this flagship model. The Hermes also comes in 3 different capacities to ensure that athletes can choose what's right for their specific needs and use case. The Hermes comes in a 25-liter, 18-liter, or 15-liter, with the vests coming in small, medium, and large for both men and women. The Hermes is also made of premium materials, honoring and respecting sustainability. The main body is made out of a nylon triangle ripstop. The back panel and parts of the vest are made of a 3D spacer mesh for breathability. Pockets and other flexible elements are made out of a 330 grain nylon stretch mesh. And finally, the closure and straps are made of an elastic mesh and nylon blend for durable but lightweight closure systems. So let's take a quick look at Dylan's experience now. He is running along a narrow mountain trail with the Hermes Fast Pack, sitting comfortably and securely on his shoulders. He comes to a technical section of rock and ice. But with the Hermes, he's able to quickly unbuckle and pull his ice axe off his pack without needing to stop or take the pack off. He confidently navigates this section, almost unaware of the bag on his back. With a few minor adjustments to the load lifters and sternum compression straps, he's able to adapt the pack to eliminate movement, increasing his focus and reducing his risk of injury. Now let's take a look at Ashley's experience on the trail. The Hermes sits comfortably between her shoulder blades. adjusted to her exact comfort. She begins to sweat as the miles increase, but with the integrated reservoir, she feels comfortable to push and explore for longer, knowing that she has plenty of water. A combination of proper hydration and regular snacks means that she feels stronger and is not worried about excessive fatigue. Ultimately, she gets to the end of her trail confident, knowing that the Hermes Fastpack has empowered her to pursue what she loves. Thank you for coming to my presentation of the Osprey Hermes Fastpack, empowered to pursue hard, difficult things.